Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Pause of Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. I have a super exciting guest episode for you today, but before we jump into that, I'm just going to go through my weekly recap as per. So to be honest, the past week I've mainly just been working. However, last Wednesday, so a week ago, I went training with Arrow at Lucy's as I do every week. And I ran for the first time. It wasn't proper running, but it was running. I'd say it was jogging or more like a bit of a lolloping around, but I was running. Finally, which was cool. I was so happy about that because I was so nervous, worrying how my foot would be during and after, but it was totally fine. I obviously still get a bit of aching, in an evening if I've done quite a bit that day, for example, but that is totally normal as confirmed by my physio that I've been seeing. So that is amazing. And then the rest of the week has just mainly been work. I taught a evening workshop last Thursday evening, and then I taught my workshop with Demi on Saturday, which went really well. I'm really in the flow of teaching now. I absolutely love it. It is tiring, but yeah, I love it. It's great. It's so rewarding. And then last night I hired Dog Sports Derby with Arrow, and that was me back running properly. Like, I was sprinting. I was doing the thing. I felt like I was pretty much back to normal, which, oh my God, it's exactly, actually, so when I'm recording this, it is the 21st of January. So it is exactly 4 months ago today. Yesterday when you're listening to this, if you're listening on the day this podcast episode comes out, which is Wednesday the 22nd, but on September the 21st of last year was that iconic show where I left not being able to walk on my foot because of the stress fracture. And then 4 months later, a very long 4 months. I honestly did not think it'd be 4 months. I thought it'd be less than that, but to be honest, it's probably a good thing that I didn't know it was going to be 4 months because I would have struggled to get through it even more, I think, if I knew what long road laid ahead of me. But you know what? I'm just grateful, so grateful that it's over and it's in the past. And I'm just hoping life gives me a break from injury ideally forever, but that's not going to happen when you're as active as me. So a break from injury for a while and hopefully a forever break from major injuries such as that. I would like my bones to ideally stay intact from now on. So yeah, that happened, which is incredible. I can't quite describe how incredible I feel about it, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, it's tinged with a bit of worry, just worrying that, what if it comes back? What if something else happens? I'm kind of on edge at the moment, but again, that is totally normal. But as strange as it sounds, I actually do think this injury needed to happen because it's taught me to look after myself, basically, prioritise recovery, which I obviously wasn't doing before, and also agility-wise, just enjoy every last second of my time in the ring with Arrow, no matter what that result is. Okay, because last year, before the stress fracture happened, and this has happened to me a few times now where I kind of get a bit too competitive, put too much pressure on myself, and it ruins it a little bit, or a lot of it. But now I can just run again. It's like, wow, that's the win in itself. Do you get what I mean? And to be honest, the most important lesson I've taken from this is that overworking yourself is, in fact, not a badge of honour, and it's not a flex, and it's not impressive. It won't mean that you are more successful and successful sooner. It just won't get you anywhere. And I would never dream of overworking Arrow. And in hindsight, I should not have treated myself any differently because I'm also an athlete and a being. I think we tend to treat ourselves differently to how we treat, say, our dogs or our friends or family, etc., which we should not. But yeah, I'm in a good place with it now. I have literally never felt this grateful to be doing agility, which is something that I've got so very used to doing week in, week out over the past 12 years, and obviously started taking that for granted and got complacent. But this year, I truly do have a newfound energy and determination to go for it on course like I have never before. 2025 is that year. No matter how it turns out, results-wise, that is what I'm going to be doing, simply because I can again, okay? And to be honest, keeping up with Arrow's training as well as my fitness, or what I could do during those months, despite how down I felt about the sport, about life, about everything in the early stages of my recovery, was literally the best thing I ever made myself do. Because imagine if I hadn't, I'd be unfit. Arrow would be unfit and, wouldn't have kept up those skills that he has. Now we're going back into it. And because of the hard work through that period, we're feeling just as in sync as we did in February. It is February. No, it's not. What am I talking about? We're feeling just as in sync as we did in September last year, 4 months ago, including some newfound distance skills. So we've actually come out on the other side better than before, thanks to the work that we put in during those 4 months. And it would have been so easy for me to give up and do nothing because I was so depressed. And we're coming back stronger, faster, and better than ever before. And I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. I've always believed that, as hard as it is to believe that when something like that happens to you, every single time something happens and then passes, it just reinstates that belief that everything happens for a reason. And yeah, thanks for listening to my TED Talk, because that was a long one. But yeah, I'm just so grateful to now be in this position. But without further ado, because you're all probably bored of hearing me yammer on about my foot by now over the past 4 months, but hopefully this should be the end of it. I'm hoping to close that chapter and move forward from now. Now I'm back to running. Obviously, it's gonna, stick with me in the sense of we have not done the prep that really we needed and I wanted to do before tryouts and crufts, etc. So because of that, my expectations are lower, but I'm going to try and just think, well, we've done the best we can and what will be will be. And yeah, so I'm closing the chapter, but also leaving it open because, to be honest, it is going to affect us going forward a little bit. Really, I think, you can still get aches, symptoms, the worry's going to be there for, to be honest, up to a year after it happens. So, this year's just going to be our kind of coming back into it year. That's kind of the plan, to be honest, because I'm just grateful to be doing it and I don't want that to happen ever again. And yeah, we're just going to have fun. So without further ado, and a lot of you may have skipped that and no problem if you did, but let's get into the episode with Jason Smawfield-Huby today. So me and Jason are going to be talking all about his experience at the first ever Senior Open Agility World Championships, which happened last year in 2024, and his experience of becoming small world champion and getting the overall gold medal in small at that event, which, oh my God, it sounds like an incredible experience. But you'll hear it better from Jason than you will me right now. So without further ado, let's get straight into the conversation with Jason. All right, cool. So for those listeners that don't know who you are, do you just want to give a little bit of an introduction of yourself and your dogs?
Yeah, I'm Jason. I started agility about 10 years ago, just as a hobby. I've now got 4 dogs. I packed my job in, sold my business and started to teach agility 4 years ago. And unfortunately, I'm actually hooked nowadays.
Absolutely. It's a bit addictive, isn't it?
It's very addictive, yes.
So the first question then, so obviously this episode is based on how well you did becoming world champion at SOAWC. Yes. So the first ever Senior Open Agility World Championship. So in the lead up to that event, what did your prep look like for you and Hope?
What did I prep? It was very short-lived as we only had 2 months to prepare because unfortunately we were very late in getting the trials organised due to various things. So we had 2 months to sort ourselves out. So the first thing was to go looking for judges. The judges who were setting the courses for the competition. So we looked for course plans. Fortunately, I've got a place to set courses up. So myself and I invited anyone else who wanted to come. But unfortunately, where we live, we're quite on a limb, so people wouldn't travel. So we're setting courses up to practice running. I also looked for as much additional training as I could find in that short period of time. And obviously, my first pop call was Lucy.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I managed to get a little bit with Becky Hodgson as well. And between the two of them, they worked wonders with me.
Yeah.
A lot of it was on my confidence and things like that. I started reducing competitions. That's only by listening to other people, because I like to attend a lot of competitions, but I started to think a lot more sensibly.
Yes, yeah.
And protected my dog a lot more. And I actually cancelled a couple of championship competitions because of that.
It's prioritising, isn't it, at that point?
Absolutely. And keeping myself fit.
Yes.
I run 3 dogs. That's enough to keep yourself fit, especially when they're small dogs.
Yes, very true. And they're all in the same classes.
They are now, yeah. 3 dogs in 5 to 7.
Yeah.
It's hard work for small classes, yes.
You kind of don't have a choice but to be fit, do you, at that point?
you don't, no. And it comes naturally, I think. I'm quite lucky like that. The other preparation was travel and accommodation, which, again, at short notice, was quite difficult to locate, and we got let down a couple of times.
Oh, right,
Hotel was double booking, but my travelling partner, Jane, she worked wonders, and she sorted it out.
Oh, so, perfect. Shout out to Jane.
Yeah, the hats off to Jane, yeah.
I know a lot of people, most people do kind of taper off before a big event, so they'll start doing less shows. But then on the other hand, some people, like, for example, me, I'd do probably just the same amount, because Arrow, for example, would completely lose his head if he didn't compete in the lead up to something. So again, it's about knowing your own dog, isn't it? Yeah,
Hope's a little bit like that, and in some cases it's a little bit of a mistake. I need to put her in a ring.
Yes,
occasionally. Whether I do 4 rings or 4 runs or 1 run, it's a little bit irrelevant. I've just got to get her in the ring, otherwise she loses her head.
Yes, okay, yeah. So it's potentially, going to a show just to do that 1 run instead of 4,
Yeah.
I know, because the worst thing you can think of is injuries in that lead up, isn't it? For both you and the dog.
Yes, yeah. We forget about ourselves a lot, I think.
100%.
I'm going to say this, especially in the older age brackets. We're not quite as supple as some of you younger ones.
Say that, I'm always getting injured.
Yeah, I know you may be trying too hard.
I think I am, yeah. I need to calm down.
Absolutely.
Cool. So how often do you usually train then? So when you're not prepping for an event, and did this change during SOAWC prep at all? Did you train more, less?
I train fortnightly in my classes, obviously. I do. I'm fortunate I have access to my own field, and I have access to a large arena. Unfortunately, when you're teaching, you don't get as much time to train your clubs.
I'm already finding that,
yeah, it'll get worse, I tell you.
Yeah.
I try, the field's only 2 minutes from where I live, so if the weather's all right, I'd rather go down for half an hour, 2 or 3 times a week.
Yes, yeah.
And do bits and pieces, and with running the 3 dogs, you're only doing a few minutes.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
There's no pressure. If the weather's bad, you tend to go for more when you actually get there. But twice a week, I look for twice a week. Once for skills and once hopefully for course running.
Yes, and then obviously you're fortnightly with Lucy.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is if you don't do enough course running, you don't keep yourself fit.
Exactly, that's it. There's only so much skills you can do before you have to start implementing it into a course.
Yeah, as well. And it's not just your body you're keeping fit, it's your mind you're keeping fit as well.
Yeah, keep sharp.
It is, yeah, because it's remembering 20 obstacles all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
At speed, and that's a skill in itself.
Yeah,
and I don't think people appreciate that.
It's multitasking as well, isn't it? Because you've got to remember what to tell your dog, what your body's doing, and where you're going next. It is really difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started setting up larger courses as well in the prep for it, because we run 20 obstacles here. We could run 22 abroad.
Yeah, and it makes all the difference, doesn't it, if you have an extra 2 on the end?
But I tend to set more up if I can. If I can set 25 up, I know I can do a 22.
Yeah. If you can do 25, you can do anything, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah.
Is that what you do? So you do your twice a week anyway, like in normal when you're not prepping for an event?
I try to.
Okay.
I try to. I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Apart from what I could get with Lucy and Becky, I don't think I particularly did a lot more myself.
Okay.
Because I'll just put it down to the field.
Yeah, true.
And do bits. Sometimes you end up doing nothing when you get there.
Yeah, true. So it kind of stayed the same during prep as far as, frequency.
It is really, because my dogs are relatively fit.
Yeah.
So do I need to push them any further?
Well, exactly. And they already, pretty much know everything. Like you said, it's more just drilling it in.
You would hope so. I think things have altered a lot recently in different skills what we're seeing.
Definitely.
Next year will be a different thing, I think.
Yeah. Did you find the courses over there were, the kind of courses that you'd be running here at some shows anyway, or was it quite a lot different?
It was different because the courses, apart from the last one, the courses were a lot tighter. Whilst they still had large distances, there was jumps and obstacles everywhere you turned.
Oh, okay.
So you were on top of things before you realised it.
Yeah, lots of things in your line.
Which for small dogs, people can say that's easier rather than large dogs. But I don't necessarily think it is nowadays because some of the dogs are getting so much faster.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, small dogs can be rapid, like most of them are.
Yeah. If you look at the times compared to mediums and things like that, there's very little difference nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah, the courses were long. They were hard. They didn't go any easy. I don't think they went any easier on us from what I've seen. Do they compare to courses over here? Possibly Iconics, but Iconics have a lot bigger rings.
Yes, that's it.
Than were there, so they're maybe a little bit more spread out. I try to set those sorts of courses when I can.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
They're what I enjoy doing, and I'm not going to set something that I don't enjoy judging.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So hopefully, some of us bring a little bit of influence over here. Not to everybody's. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
I think it's moving in that direction anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've still got to cater for everybody. We need everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody in agility, all the skills.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't want to just sort of target a certain group and then dwindle everyone else out, do you?
No. If I think if they had, we're digressing, aren't we? But I think if they have different types of judges at events, you'll get something for everybody.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, what was your favourite thing about SOAWC then?
What was my favourite thing?
I'm sure there were lots of things, but if you had to pinpoint one.
There's all sorts. My favourite thing was standing on the podium at the end, after I'd won the gold medal, seeing all your teammates, not only the seniors, but the juniors stood in front of you, waving flags, and everybody singing the national anthem.
Yeah, that's special.
I don't sing. I was singing at the top of my voice. So that's a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, definitely.
But then the atmosphere, the camaraderie of everybody, and the support of everybody was second to none.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's something you don't get sort of at regular events as much.
No,
when you go to those international events, it is like the next level, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the nearest you get is a champ. When people are supporting each other.
Yes, that's it.
But they still want to do well themselves. Where this, with it being merely a team event, everybody was rooting for everybody all the time.
Yes,
it was just incredible.
Do you think that helped you perform better as well? You know, that's that extra support before you went in and stuff.
Possibly. I don't know. You get stood on the start line and you forget about everything else.
Yes, that's so true.
People ask you, what about the crowds and things like that? They're not there. It's really a dog. And it's really strange to tell people that.
I know exactly what you mean. And like commentary as well, when you've got a run that's being commentated, you don't hear it, do you, while you're running?
Yeah.
You don't hear anything they're saying.
Yeah, you haven't got a clue. You haven't got a clue what's going on at all. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it did. I mean, people tried to help you relax a little bit. Whether it worked, and I don't know.
Yeah, I forget you had the juniors there as well. I'm forgetting that.
Yeah, I mean, the juniors were there, and I think we mixed really well. I mean, some of the juniors, especially older ones, and they'd been before.
Yes,
you know, they were so nice. Very loud as well.
Yes.
But supporting everyone. And we were supporting them; they were supporting us.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the closing ceremony, we were all together, which made the atmosphere so much more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the juniors sometimes deal with it the best out of everyone, don't they?
Yeah, they haven't had so many life skills, have they? They're not so nervous.
Yeah, that's it.
As I say to some people, I says, do you play games on your phone and that? And say why? I says your reactions, the juniors' reactions are so much quicker. quicker in life, and they can help you so much more. So it is really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice to have that, wide diversity of age at the same event. That's cool.
It is, and you've all got something in common as well.
Yes, exactly.
So the adults are actually helping the juniors.
Yeah.
Maybe mature a little bit more.
That's it.
In life.
And what a great experience for the juniors, doing an international event like that. I mean, that sets them up perfectly for the future of agility.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. So, did you face any challenges during your time at the event, or did it all go pretty much smooth sailing?
Sailing? How did you know about that? Our biggest challenge was the ferry.
Okay.
Neither myself or Jane had been abroad without dogs before.
Okay.
As most people were very protective of our dogs. So we went on the North Sea ferry, so it's 12 hours.
Yeah.
We didn't want to leave our dogs in our vans.
Understandably.
Or in the kennels. So a cabin was booked. I'm being careful how I say this. A cabin was booked and kennels were booked.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when it was booked, it wasn't the kennels in the cabin.
Oh.
And this was realised a couple of days before we went.
Okay, that's not ideal.
So we had a full meltdown, myself and Jane. Getting on the ferry, we found the cabin. We found the kennels, and whilst they were lovely and clean and that, it was like putting your dogs inside a big freezer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow, okay.
The purser was absolutely incredible, and he must have seen our concern, and he says, we've got a cancelled cabin.
Oh, perfect.
Excuse me. We booked, so we altered our booking and got a cabin with kennels in it.
Nice.
Dog-friendly cabin. So that put our mind at rest then, but up until that moment, we were very...
Yeah, that is not nice.
Very, very on edge, and we didn't think it was going to be a nice trip. But it was. So that was, I think that was our biggest challenge.
So before you even got there was something,
That was before we got there, so we're on our back foot before we even got there.
Yeah, no, that's tricky. I don't even like the thought of putting, my dogs in kennels anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like to go on holiday, they always come with me, so that is scary.
I never do. And some people do, and they don't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't like the idea.
But it's just... They're a pet. They're not just an agility dog. They're a pet.
Exactly, that's it. They're your little mate, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The other thing was keeping dogs cool over there. I mean, we are quite accustomed to that.
True.
Over here now, but we had temperatures 36 degrees.
Oh, wow.
On one of the days.
That's a little bit hotter than we're generally competing in, isn't it, here?
Yeah, and unfortunately that day we were parked on the concrete car park, which made it even worse.
Oh, God, yeah, hot on the pads.
But we all managed. We've got our silver blankets and...
Yeah, I'm sure you went prepared.
Different methods. Biggest challenges, nerves are another thing. Vet checks. Hope is a bit averse to being checked by a vet since she had a temperature checked.
Oh, does she not like it?
By a different vet, so when vets try to touch past her head, she doesn't like it at all.
Oh, I see, okay.
And I've tried all sorts. So she actually tried to get the vet who was testing her, who was checking her.
Oh no!
it wasn't good.
Bless her.
I think I must have smiled correctly there. So
yes, that's quite a stressful scenario.
We got away with that.
Perfect.
Couple other things I wasn't very well when I got there as well.
Oh really?
For 3 or 4 days.
Oh wow, typical, isn't it?
Which I think, in hindsight.
That's all right.
In hindsight, that was quite a good thing. Because it took me thoughts off other things.
True, yeah, true. Yeah, you were just thinking about being well enough to run more than actually...
I was about being miserable when I wasn't running.
Yeah, that's so true, actually.
But no, that it's again, like Jane says, she says, if that's how you run when you're unwell.
Well, exactly, that's it. Well. Yeah, what can you do when you're fully well?
Yeah, and the other thing was the midges.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been prepared for. Because we stopped around a lake, it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's not nice.
So they're the challenges we faced. Most of them, you could eradicate for if you went again.
Yeah, true.
A lot of it's because it's the first time we went.
I was going to say, you always learn stuff from the first time, and then the next time's way much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Driving over there was really no different to driving over here.
Yeah.
The roads were actually probably better than over here.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, that was all fine.
Yeah, so it ended up all going, well, obviously pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah. After we got on the ferry.
Yes, that's it. I think see, for me as well, travelling to anywhere is still, I'd say, the most stressful part of it. Once you're there, you kind of relax into it, don't you?
Yeah. Because always the last few miles are terrible, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
The postcodes don't take you to places.
I know, honestly.
And things like that, yeah.
Especially in a different country.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
as far as nerves go, I think that's always going to be a bit of a challenge for everyone. Like, I don't think as experienced as someone can get, I think there's always still going to be a little bit of those nerves there. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's part and parcel.
I think if you don't have your nerves and you don't have the adrenaline, you won't perform to your peak.
Yes, exactly. You need it.
If you go in there too blasé, you're not working properly.
Yeah, that's it.
Properly. And it's the same with people if you speak in public. If you haven't got those butterflies, you aren't going to do it properly.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, you need it, don't you? It's adrenaline.
Yeah. You need some nerves, yeah.
Yeah, I try and think it's not nerves, it's excitement.
yeah, that's another way.
Because they're very similar feelings, aren't they, really? So
we'll agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, just try and trick your brain. That's what I do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. So what about the experience was different to competing at a standard show then? I'm going to say quite a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm going to say quite a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, the show itself, it's another show.
True, yeah. I suppose it's the same agility in the ring.
That's the simplest way to look at it. How you compete, how you sort yourself out should be the same.
Yeah, true.
With it being inside, the biggest difference is the noise level. If you think going to some of our indoor arenas is noisy, you haven't heard anything.
Really?
Because you got so many people cheering and shouting.
True.
Waving flags just all the time. There's just so much going on.
Yeah, and it echoes, doesn't it, when you're indoors?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a big area, so it wasn't that bad, but it was just the number of people.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get that here the same, are you?
No. The biggest I've been is the Excel Centre, and you had people around you there, but it's still not the same.
Yeah.
Still not the same. The organisation is, I hope the English kids don't take this the wrong way, the organisation was so much better and so much on the ball.
Okay.
It had to be because of the number of people going through.
Yeah,
but
true.
We also had so many more helpers.
That's good.
So everything ran so smoothly.
That's what you need when you're already a little bit stressed, isn't it?
Yes, I think you do. Even down to in the ring, there's so many pearl pickers, and there's so many people helping. That just made that journey so much smoother. Yeah,
and as well, I guess it's trying to make sure that the days aren't like too stupidly long.
Yeah, well,
that was another thing I was gonna ask. How long were the days? Because often they're long.
The worst day was we got there at 6:30, and we got back to the lodge at 10:00 at night.
Oh no! Oh God!
So
I'm tired just thinking about that.
Probably a bit of our own fault because I was in the other. The schedule was planned really well.
Yeah.
But because I was running in the over 55s and Jane was running the over 65s. And we were in the same lodge together.
You kind of had to be there for...
So if she had an early start one day, I would have the late finish that day.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of had to stick around.
We shot ourselves in the foot, but we wouldn't have had it any other way.
No, I was going to say, that was just one of those things.
It worked so well, having friends to support you just makes life so much easier.
Yeah, it's always nicer doing it with someone else, isn't it?
Yeah, for both of you. Yeah, absolutely. But again, so the support, that was so much different. Because you wouldn't. Well, you tell each other to do it well when you're running in a standard show. You're not actually supporting each other to the same degree.
Yeah.
You probably want to. You'd probably be competing against your friend and probably want to beat your friend.
Yes, very true, yeah.
Management team, you don't get that in this country. You don't get anyone managing you. You know, they go in and find all the pitfalls and where you need to be, when you need to be there.
Yeah, so, it's just that extra layer of support, isn't it?
So that bit of stress of having to, where am I in the queue? When am I doing this? When am I doing that? That's all taken away from you.
Yes, yeah, true.
So they're there. If you don't want them to help you, they don't help you. They didn't push themselves on us at all.
Yeah, more offering.
Yeah, they were offering and giving the guidance, because most of them had been competing abroad at some time in their life in the past anyway.
Yeah, and I think what they're trying to do is, you know, make sure that all you have to think about is running the course. So all the other little bits.
They take it out of your hands completely. And the support of your teammates as well. I mean, there was people there who I suppose I've always looked up to.
Yes, yeah.
The likes of Alan Bray, the likes of Alan Wildman. You know, the people I've spoke to in passing.
Yes.
Had decent conversations with them. And they're not human beings.
Yeah,
you know, probably the easiest way. They were so nice and helpful to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they gave us all their experience and that. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I found that before, where, you know, you look up to someone kind of from afar for so long, and then you
Yeah.
end up like almost on a very similar level, or you're competing in the same stuff, and you talk to them, and you're like, oh, you know, you kind of put them on a pedestal, but they're just like you, and then you get on with them really well, and it's nice.
Yeah, we're all human beings.
Exactly.
It's maybe something that's, you know, you look up to your peers all your life, and they are no different.
Yeah,
no different.
Exactly. And they have all the same feelings as we do when we compete.
Yeah, absolutely. Apart from Alan Bray.
Oh yeah, he's just chill.
He's horizontal most of his life.
Yeah. I'm actually quite envious of that.
Yeah, he's so relaxed,
Bless him. So going back to nerves then, someone said, did you struggle with nerves and the feeling of pressure during the event? And if so, how did you deal with this to make sure that it didn't affect you too much?
I always have nerves.
Yep.
I'm in life, can be a very nervous person.
Me too.
I try not to show it. I did have comments saying that you don't look nervous at all. Well,
yeah, you wouldn't know.
if they saw what was going on behind the scenes and that, yes, they would know how that I do get very nervous. I pace up and down a lot, and things like that.
Yes.
I've tried numerous things in the past, in the early days, to get rid of my nerves. I even tried hypnotherapy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How was that?
It found a lot of other problems, actually.
Oh. Unexpected.
But it didn't. I don't think it helped at all.
No, not in that situation.
You know, maybe for a few days afterwards, but it doesn't help afterwards. But if you don't try, you don't know, do you?
Yeah, maybe not a long-term solution.
No.
Yeah.
But I found more of my private time. So, because of big classes, I didn't stand around and watch the course running so much. You know, I watched a couple, but I didn't want to watch them and then start questioning myself. Yeah,
I'm exactly the same.
I'd made my own plan and for once stuck to it. So I watched that and I went and sat in my van.
Yeah.
For quite
definitely.
A while.
The worst thing you can do is change what you're doing before, or, you know, do something that you haven't walked. Like, I've been there too many times.
Yeah, and we all do it, but so I took myself away from the situation. So pacing up and down a lot. Then before we started getting Hope out and doing things with Hope, wandering around with her a little bit because of the heat, that was a little bit restrictive.
Yeah, couldn't do too much.
But I've also, it's just something strange, but I'd really do it. Before I run, maybe 4 or 5 dogs before I run, I just stand and switch off completely.
Okay, kind of zone out.
Yeah, I find something to focus on in the distance, which is easier when you're outside.
Oh, okay.
Just completely zone out, and it's something I've done all year.
Interesting.
Whether it's working, whether it's psychological or not, I don't know. But it seems to just give me those few minutes.
Yeah, almost like a bit of a distraction as well, if you focus on something other than the competition.
Yeah. And the other thing is I never look at the results.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big one.
I don't want to know what's happening.
Yeah.
No,
you just do what you can, and then what will be.
I'm going to run my own race and just do the best I can.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's fatal. You put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, especially when the results are live as well, and you can sit there like scrolling and refreshing, can't you?
Yeah. Other people can do that if they want to do it.
Exactly.
While they're watching, you don't do it yourself. Don't put undue pressure on, because it's not going to alter what happens.
No, exactly. Yeah, you can't do anything about other people's performance, can you?
No, there's pressure coming from enough other places.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think some people realise that they're putting pressure on you some days. You're going to do well in this. This is your run. Well, no, it's not. It's just another run.
Yeah, exactly. Or like expectations. Do you know what I mean? When people kind of say, and I think they're trying to be supportive in the way that they're like boosting you up, saying good things about you, but then at the same time you kind of think, oh God, now I feel like I have to.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've had a lot of that.
Yeah. And, me too.
There's been no malice with it at all, but it's
good intentions, but it kind of gets to you a bit.
Go away, leave me alone, please.
Yeah. Definitely. Cool. So how did travelling to Belgium impact you and Hope, and do you feel as though this altered your performance at all? So obviously you've not just got the pressure of a huge competition, you've also got to, like you said, sort out all the travelling, being in a different country.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, the biggest thing that did affect us as that was the ferry.
Yeah.
That if they'd have been in the kennels, we wouldn't have got any sleep.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that. But we were fortunate in how it turned out. So I don't think that affected us too much. It was a longish journey, but it wasn't too long.
How long would you say it was?
The ferry was 12 hours, and it was only about 3 hours travel when we got over there.
Okay, so about 15, not bad.
Yeah, and because we travelled from Hull as well, I mean, we could have taken a longer drive and a cheaper route possibly, but it was half an hour from where we live.
Perfect, yeah.
It didn't take any thought at all.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and again, I think if you did that again, you would be even more relaxed.
Yeah, you know how it works out now.
Yeah. We arrived a couple of days before we needed to as well.
So yeah, you can get a feel of the area.
Yeah, get acclimatised, or the climate's no different, but acclimatise yourself to a different area.
Yeah, definitely.
And the dogs as well, because they're sleeping in different environments.
Yeah, that's it. And you sometimes think, I wonder if they get less sleep when all that's going on. Do you know what I mean? And they need it just as much as we do.
I think even when they're travelling in the van, they get less sleep, even though they're relaxed.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think they sleep.
No, they can't, surely
not.
As
well as they do when they're in their own home.
Yeah, no, definitely. Same as us, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, travelling with a teammate, I think, really helped someone to talk to. Whilst Jane organised the trip, I did all the driving, so it's nice to have someone talking to you whilst you're driving, whilst you've got a reasonable long drive. I think.
Yes, definitely. Keep you awake.
So I don't think it really affected the performance at all. I think it was more the nerves.
Yeah.
The big worry was the nerves. And when we got there, we actually went to the arena a day early and had a look around. And when it was empty, the size of the place was quite
overwhelming.
Very, very overwhelming, yes.
I bet, yeah. God, yeah. I bet it looks so much bigger without people in it.
It was, it was huge. I've been in some big arenas, but I mean, that level. Was a huge place,
yeah. Wow. So leading into the event then, what were your goals for the event before you actually competed? Kind of what were you going in hoping would happen, or did you kind of just go into it thinking what will be what will be?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I've written down here what was my goal: to get a clear round.
Okay.
That was my goal, to get a clear round at an international event. I mean, that could have all I've dreamed of. I was so pleased to get there, to get picked. I mean, to get picked with 2 dogs was even more. I don't know, but yeah, getting 4 clear rounds and all in the top 3 finishes, it's something you can't dream of.
Yeah.
So I didn't go with any. I'm going to win this. Because I didn't know what the competition was.
Yeah, true.
I did. You can look the judges up, but I didn't know who was coming from.
Other countries, isn't it, as well? Yeah.
And I didn't know anyone, and when I've looked at them afterwards, there's a lady from America who's competed internationally for years and
wow.
at all levels, Diane Patterson. So yeah, it was nice to run about against people like that. And hopefully we'll speak to each other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
another time, friends on Facebook now. It would be nice. But
yeah, that's it.
When you see the level of the dogs that were over there,
yeah,
I can say there's so much better. It was just so different. Everybody was so good. They have different skills abroad than what most of us have over here.
They're more used to that style of course, aren't they?
Yeah. They are used to that style of course, and I don't think some of them like failure as well.
Yes, true. Yeah, I think as well, you kind of don't. It doesn't click until you're there that is literally the best of the best in the entire world. Everyone is good, like.
Yeah, and it's even because of the age group. It's still yes. There's the odd one or two people who possibly were there who were just filling numbers up. But they still had to qualify in their own country. They still had to make the commitment to go. So yeah, but in general, the level was very, very high. And like I said earlier, I don't personally think they dumbed down any of the courses at all.
Yeah, no, that's true. I wouldn't think they would internationally.
I know some people did struggle, but did it, and it was such an achievement for everybody.
Definitely. And I think as well, going into an event with sort of not low expectations, but not like huge thinking, right, like you said, I have to win this, I'm going to win this and stuff. I think that probably helped. And I think that helps because it takes a bit more pressure off. Like you're thinking, my goal is to go clear, and I know one clear is an achievable goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's. I think next year will be a different kettle of fish because there will be so much pressure on me.
Yes. Yeah.
But I've done it. So
exactly, you've done it once.
Will be.
Yeah, I know. I think often it's more stressful, like you said, once you've done it once, and then you go and you almost. Not saying everyone expects you to do it again, but you think you're kind of expected to do it again because you know you've done it once.
Yes. Yeah, you put your own pressure on yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another mental battle, I suppose, to.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, for sure. And I bet it's nice as well. Did you make quite a few, like you said with Diane, connections, to people abroad?
Yeah. There's I spoke to quite a lot of people whilst I was there.
Yeah.
Some just in passing. But yeah, in our own teams, yes, I made a lot of new friends. A lot of people who I've not known before or seen in passing. Again, they're really, really nice. And Jackie, I've known Jackie. I've never really spoken to Jackie a lot, and she's such a super lady. She is such a super lady, and she couldn't do enough for people.
Yeah. And from other countries as well, it's nice thinking you've made those friends, that you'll see again at the next event and stuff like that.
Hopefully that would be really nice. Yes.
Yeah, reconnect after a year.
Yeah, I'd love to spread my wings a bit.
Yes.
with whatever, with agility completely, whether you're competing or judging, and it's nice to meet those people who might be able to help you.
Exactly, that's it.
And you can help them as well.
Definitely. Cool. So at what point of the competition did you realise you were in contention for overall gold? What moment did it kind of hit you that this might be happening?
When I heard John Clayton shout. I ran 3 dogs from the end in the last run. Again, I hadn't really looked. I hadn't really done the maths because I didn't want that pressure. Like we said earlier, I'll just go and run the best I can.
Yes.
We had obviously talked about it, but not too much because I wasn't going up there saying I had to finish in the top 3 to win it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I suppose if you know where you're standing and what you have to do, that's where it goes wrong.
I knew I'd had a good few days, but I just wanted to go out and run it to the best I can.
Yes,
I was so nervous before going in the last one, not because of that, just because of where I was running in the running order.
Yeah, right at the end is always the worst.
And Diane ran after me, and there's a German guy, he was running near the end as well. And they'd all been really good all the time. And I just didn't want to know.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to know. So I knew I'd got clear. John shouted he was on the balcony and you could hear him above everybody. So I just fell on the floor and congratulated my dog and played with my dog. Jackie came and cuddled me. I said, "Go away." I said, "I'm playing with dog. I need to go to the dog first." And then again, John started shouting, "You've done it, bud." And then it clicked home. And next thing I knew, I had Alan and Michael and Jackie mobbing me.
Yeah, I think I might have seen. There's a picture of you, Alan, and I can't remember who else.
It's Michael from up in the northeast. I didn't realise how small I was actually. Yeah, I mean, going back to my early questions, moments when I was over there, that was an incredible moment, and that's what I said about support.
Yes,
people who you know, but they're not your friends, give you that sort of support. Is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. So really, it was right at the end. It was right at the end.
And it wouldn't be the same, would it? Even if you got the same result, if there wasn't those people there, it wouldn't be the same. Like if there's not people there to celebrate it with, it's not quite the same feeling.
No, I mean, the surreal bit was probably 10, 15 minutes afterwards, because I'd obviously got to take Hope back to the van and I wandered outside and I actually burst into tears.
Oh,
so I had to ring. I had to ring somebody, so I rang my wife first.
Yeah.
And then I had to ring Lucy.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Everything that she's done for me over the years. And, he was just so nice.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I bet those were amazing phone calls.
yeah, they were. Yeah, in tears, yes.
So this is kind of not as much event specific, but kind of Hope specific. So have you ever faced any training challenges or setbacks with Hope during your career and her career? And if so, how did you overcome these to kind of get to the point you're at?
Training challenges, I think you can all probably guess my biggest training challenge with Hope is her start line. She is so intent on wanting to run the course. I've done practically every course out there to try and get a decent start line off her. She's damn sight better than she used to be. I've had people say all sorts of things to me. She's got the most perfect, like everybody dog, she's got the most perfect start line away from, in practice when I'm practicing myself, away from agility.
Yeah.
If she's losing her head in practice, I can get her to sit down and wait, no problem at all. Put her in the ring. She just doesn't want to. And people have told me all sorts of things, but I know my dog.
Exactly.
If I try to push her too much, she'll disappear off.
Oh, right.
She'd run into the middle of the ring.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's always on the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And then she won't come back to me in a agility ring. If I interrupt her run.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me, maybe it's me not being firm enough with her, but I have tried all sorts. I've got start line weights with the other dogs, so...
Yeah, it's not the method.
it can't just be... And she's too quick not to have one.
Yeah, you have to get a head start.
Yeah, so she's a lot better. It's the thing I always but what worries me when I run in front of Greg, exciting days and things like that.
Yeah.
But I know, and it has messed me up once or twice. But I can manage it more often than not now.
I suppose every dog, well, most dogs at least, have their one kind of more weakness, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it is. It's our weakness, not just, and that puts undue pressure on you before you get in the ring.
Yeah, because it's before you've even concentrated on the course or thought about the course. There's something.
And I don't drop her and run. I never have. But when you go abroad, they've got to have all all 4 feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Before you release them.
Yep, and you don't have that collar to hold on to either aboard, do you?
No, but to be fair, last year and all the time now, even at practice, I tend to take a collar off.
Yeah, better to get into the habit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I do off Tasha as well, just to get into the habit, so you've got nothing to hang on to.
Yes, yeah.
But then hanging on to them isn't the right thing, because you're then fighting with them.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, they're not working with you.
So that's always been my biggest challenge. But I'd rather have her how she is than have a dog that's got the perfect start line, but hasn't got the sassiness and the speed and the enthusiasm.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least you know she absolutely loves it and, can't wait to do it.
Yeah. Other issues, seesaws, that's generally a small dog.
I was going to say, little lightweight dogs.
But I've seen there's a Chihuahua I've judged recently, and it's got the most incredible seesaw.
Oh, really?
Wow. So yeah, you can train them, but with all my poodles, I've struggled.
Yeah.
With seesaws, some days you get perfect ones. Some days it's not tipping quite the same as the one I usually use, because I haven't got the weight to bring it down.
And they're all different, aren't they? Often.
Yeah, they are all different. I don't think we can always use that as an excuse, because the dog doesn't know till he gets on it.
Yes, true.
But I think more with mine, I think it's a tip speed. If they don't tip at the speed that they used to, just that little bit. With a heavier dog, it's going to make that difference minimal. Whereas with a lighter dog, it really exaggerates it.
Yeah,
I put magnets on all sorts of things to try and slow them down when I'm practicing. Once they've done it, they're fine.
Yeah, but it's that you don't get to do it before you compete usually, do you?
Yeah, no, you don't. No. Setbacks. Hope got injured last year at Kingdom of Fife. She landed on a 3-piece tyre. So I went up to Kingdom of Fife. I did one run and came home. So it was quite a long journey.
Yeah, God, very long.
The scream that came out of her when she landed on that tyre it was horrible. So we went to emergency vets. And then I ended up with Jane Strange, who actually found out what was wrong with her. And unfortunately, she just bruised herself really badly.
Oh, okay.
We had 6 weeks off. But it makes you very cautious in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So every time she hits something or she stands on a cobble wrong and she limps.
Yep.
As something comes out, it makes you paranoid.
Yeah, I had that with Arrow at Crufts. I took him out for a wee, and he stood on like a little spiky plant thing, and he was limping for about 5 seconds, and I was like 10 minutes from running. I was thinking, no.
So that's the worst thing that I had with her.
Yeah. It's horrible seeing them, like you said, the scream, like seeing them in pain as well. And you can't explain to them what's going on. It's awful.
It was. I mean, she's hit things in the past and she just rolled over and got on. But she actually got up and finished the last jump.
All right.
It was like tire jump finish. He fell over, screamed like I was past the last jump before.
Right, yeah.
Happened, and she just got up and ran over the last jump, and then just screamed again. And
whereabouts did she bruise herself then?
Under her front right leg.
Okay.
Under her armpit.
Yeah.
And she just landed on it really weirdly.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos of it. It was nobody's fault. It was just one of those things.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is one of those things.
There was no bad lines. It was a straight line. Things happen. Accidents happen, don't they?
I was going to say as well, you kind of not got to expect it, but kind of, it is an intense kind of sport, isn't it? And I think as well, when it happens to you once, like you said, forever then, you're going into things worrying a little bit, like...
Yeah, you're paranoid. I mean, you hit wings before and all sorts of stuff and just got up and carried on and never had the slightest injury. So I think she's had a lot worse things. She slipped off a dog walk once halfway along, Everybody screamed again. She just got up and carried on.
Yeah. Ethel did that once, and she's little as well. I think it was a really windy day, and she just went whoop off the side, landed on her feet, and carried on. No,
this was inside, so I didn't have that excuse.
Oh, right.
Another challenge is finding a good trainer, especially in your early days.
Yes, definitely, when you don't know people.
when you don't know people or people don't know you.
Yes, true.
And I moved from one trainer to another in the early days as possibly I got better. I wanted different challenges. Trainers weren't always training how you wanted to train or how some of your peers said you possibly should be training at that stage.
Yeah, it didn't push you quite enough.
But I think all my trainers in the past have served a purpose. That's maybe a bit crass, but helped.
I know what
me,
you mean. Yeah.
Helped me at that time.
Yeah.
The best, and I wasn't the best person to start with. Typical bloke, you know. Didn't you play when you're a child? You know, get excited with your dog, and it's the same when I teach people now. You know, the ladies seem so much more relaxed. The men, you know, we all need to learn to relax a little bit more. And you know, it's a dog at the end of the day. You know, it's your pet.
Exactly. That's it.
It doesn't know it's going wrong.
Exactly. You've got to kind of zoom out and get a bit of perspective. Yeah. And I have to do that all the time.
Yeah. It gets easier with your second dog, with your third dog.
Oh, yeah. And you learn something new with each dog.
Yeah. And when you look back at your earlier videos, you see how bad you actually were.
Yeah. I know, and you cringe, but then you also think, well, if I hadn't been at that point, then I wouldn't be where I am now. So.
Oh yeah, you've got to make mistakes to get better. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. But yeah, finding a good trainer. And so I say the best trainer in our area.
Absolutely.
The best trainer in our area was a big challenge. So when you're not known, because we don't have. You're a bit further south than me.
Yes. A little bit.
There's no good trainers for me to train with.
Yeah, I'm lucky having Lucy, 15 minutes away?
Yeah. Well, she's an hour and a half for me, so it's...
Not awful, but yeah, a little bit more of a trek.
Yeah, it makes it a day out every time I go.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So how do you keep yourself fit then as a senior handler? We touched on this a little bit earlier with having 3 dogs to run, but...
Thank you for the senior bit, yeah, thank you. Simply running 3 dogs. Yeah. I used to go to the gym a lot before I actually started doing training my dogs.
Okay.
Before I had dogs, I used to be at the gym 4 times a week. Then I stopped and I needed to do something, which is why I got Ruby.
Okay.
It's probably saved my life, to be fair. But running 3 dogs keeps you fit.
Yeah, definitely.
I like walking with them as well. I had a home gym. I've got bits of it left, so I do a little bit of cardio at home.
And it is mainly cardio you need, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. You do need strength, and this is being brought. Well, because I pulled a hamstring, so my legs weren't long enough, and that I struggled for 6 months with my hamstring a couple of years ago.
Oh, right.
That's because I was doing me cardio, but I wasn't doing me leg strengthening exercises.
Yeah, you need a balance.
So that was an expensive mistake. But I've through pressure, shall we say, from one of my students, I've logged on with Chris and doing Camp Fitness now.
Ah, cool.
Started at Christmas, and that's giving you a different insight into things. And like you said, it's all about cardio. It's about core strength, a lot of it.
Yes, it's the things you don't think of, isn't it?
For your balance and things like that, and it's also actually making me eat better.
Yeah, definitely.
As a senior handler, you say, you get a little bit comfortable, and you like to start to like the nice things in life, nice food, nice drinks, and things like that, and your diet goes a bit out the window.
And that's such a huge part of it, isn't it? Nutrition.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's nutrition, and I've been losing a lot of energy, and I've started Chris's course, and I've altered my diet quite a bit recently, and I was saying to Philippa last night, I feel completely different.
Yeah, it's crazy how much of an impact it has.
In 3 or 4 weeks, I feel completely different. Yeah. And I've always been a person to get up early and do stuff in the morning, and I didn't want to. And since I've been doing this, I've got that new lease of life. So but I'm still doing a bit of cardio. I need to do cardio.
Yes, you do, don't you? When you're talking to the dogs around the whole thing.
Yeah, running through but if you're talking to your dogs, you're not running fast enough, are you?
Exactly.
If you've got time, if you've got enough breath to talk to your dog, you're not running fast enough. That's if you're running handler. I'm a running handler, not everybody is, are they?
Yes, true.
And the other one is how do you keep yourself fit mentally as well? You've got to keep yourself mentally fit. We talked about this earlier on.
Yeah, huge.
You've got to be able to ensure you can remember the courses.
Yeah.
I like to walk multiple courses when I can. Obviously not at the big competitions because you got one, but I like to walk multiple courses to teach myself to remember them.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. Yeah.
And then when you get into the ring, you know which course are you running? If you can, like I say, if you can remember 20, 22 obstacles, to remember that, you know, if you can remember 40, 60 obstacles because you walked 3 different courses.
Yeah.
So much the better. It just keeps you alive a little bit, I think.
So do you walk courses that you're not necessarily in or don't have to walk just to keep you kind of on your toes?
If I can, I do sometimes, yeah.
Okay. That's a good idea.
As long as you don't if there's 40, 50 people walking the course, you've got to use your common sense.
Yes, true. Yeah. And you can't even see the course often when it's that many people anyway.
No, it's not fair to walk that, but if it's possible, I will. It's a service advantage. I have no problem people walking a course when they don't need to, as long as they're not interfering with the people who genuinely need to walk the course.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Everybody's got to learn. Some people might not agree with me, but that's just my opinion. We've all got to learn.
Yeah, if you're not interfering with anyone, then why not?
Yeah, and if someone in a grade 1, grade 2, walks a grade 4 to 5, you know, it can point them what these sorts of things they need to be looking for.
Yeah, they know what to expect then, don't they? So they can go and train it before they get there.
Yeah. So there's different ways of looking at things. Some people agree with it, but if you're sensible, I don't think there's a problem with it.
Yeah, no, me neither. So back to nutrition then. How do you find that kind of on a show day? Because obviously you've got to time it right with runs and, you know, pack things to take and stuff like that.
That's been a big problem. That's big because I love my breakfast.
Yeah.
Then I don't eat.
Oh, really?
I don't. If I don't touch food, I don't eat food, and sometimes I don't drink as well.
Okay.
And it's been a big problem.
Yeah, because then you run out of energy.
Well, I'm realising that, yes. Yeah. But likewise, I don't like running with food in my stomach. But it has been a problem, especially when I've been going on my own.
Yeah.
One of my students who scrimes through a lot, she likes coming just to show us to watch. She runs a grade 1 dog, but she loves watching the higher grades, and she'll video them for anybody who's there. So she's a brilliant person to have along, and she actually packs us up.
Oh, nice.
She actually forces me to eat quite a lot.
That's helpful.
But I'm still very reluctant to eat when I'm running, which if it's a long day, it's a problem. So
do you think the nerves make you like suppress your appetite? Yeah.
Yes, my nerves have another effect on me, but we won't talk about that here. But it's actually something you used to advertise. I've started having protein drinks.
Yes.
I've only started them this year, but it seems to be making a difference.
Yeah, keeps you full as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can keep sipping at it. So I know I'm getting something now. Whether it's the best thing in the world to do, I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Better than the other thing is I was terrible for eating bars of chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
That was my go-to food. I haven't had a bar of chocolate since probably middle of December now.
All right, and you feel much better for it?
Yeah, I do miss it, and I will have sweet stuff after our tea on a night. I've got to have, but I've cut so much of it out and replaced it with other things.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's nearly as easy. As long as I don't have to start cooking, I'm fine.
Yeah. I know, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So what is your favourite thing about the poodle then as a breed? Because obviously they're your kind of breed. What attracts you to a poodle?
What attracts me? I used to have Labradors. I had 3 Labradors.
Really?
Years ago, yeah.
All right.
I used to have 3 Labradors. I went on for about 15 years. You could have never given me a poodle.
That's so funny.
In all my life, and it's the best decision I made to get one. As a pet, they're so affectionate and playful, but likewise, you don't want to do anything with them, they'll just lay there.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a noisy section earlier on. There's 4 of them that just laid there,
Yeah.
just relaxing. If I want to take them for a walk, they'll come for a walk. If you don't take them for a walk,
they'll just chill.
Yeah, they won't be stood at the back door.
So you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I'll know the second day if I haven't taken them for a walk the first day. You know, they'll be a lot better.
Yes, yeah.
But they'll do whatever you ask of them. As an agility dog, I mean, my favourite Ruby, well, you know Ruby, she's half poodle and half schnauzer.
Yes, yeah.
She's very stubborn. I mean, she was what she did. We used to compete against each other in the early days. She was good at what she did, but it was her way or no way. And I wanted a dog that had a decent work ethic, but a small dog. Philip wanted dogs that didn't molt. So, you know, the poodle was the ideal choice.
Yeah, definitely.
And we were just lucky. Excuse me, my voice is going. We were just lucky. I mean, Hope was just from family in Rotherham. We stumbled across her. We liked them when we went to see them. And
rest is history.
They'd never heard of agility before.
Right.
So we didn't go looking for any lines or anything. Actually, Chloe was the same, and Tasha, her mother, does a bit of agility, but she's not from nothing fantastic.
They don't have to be all the time, do they?
I don't, and I think it's what you put into them.
Exactly, exactly.
You put enough into it, and not every dog enjoys it. Hope does agility because she wants to do agility.
Yeah, I feel like often it's individual dog dependent, not breed dependent.
Yeah, Chloe does agility because I want her to do agility.
Yeah.
She loves it. She comes out, absolutely loves it, but then she'll just go and curl up in a ball and go back to sleep.
Yeah, she's more chill.
Chloe's life is sleep, do agility, sleep, go for a walk. Sleep. Doesn't follow you around the house.
Sounds like a nice life.
Finds a corner and goes to sleep.
Oh, bless her.
But the poodles, they just want to please you all the time. They're just doing things to please you.
Yeah.
The work ethic of them, you know. They'll do it. They'll do it again. They'll do it again. They'll do it again. You've got to stop them. You know, otherwise they just carry on doing it till they collapse, which is really nice. And they're just so playful.
Good little personalities.
Yeah, the cute people. All my poodles are small, so people look at your poodles. They're cute. And if a dog does zoomies, if it's a small dog doing zoomies, you get away with everything. Everyone thinks it's funny. If it's a large dog doing zoomies, it's the end of the world, isn't it?
I know, and you can pick them up when you want, carry them, put them in the van.
You can do what you want with them. The downside is the grooming.
Yes, true. High maintenance.
That's starting to get very expensive. So I do it all myself now.
Oh right, okay.
Again, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, and it's giving you some more time with your dog. So
exactly, it's bonding, isn't it?
You're bonding with your dog, and if you know your dog doesn't like it, you can break it down. Whereas if you send them to a room and see your dog's a little bit nervous,
they just do it no matter what.
You just do it, yeah.
So a good all-rounder breed, by the sounds of it.
I mean, the thing with poodle is the poodle trains the person doesn't train the poodle.
True. They're the boss.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is your best piece of advice for those wanting to try out for SOAWC in the future then? So if there's anyone listening who thinks, oh yeah, I'd like to try that, what would you tell them? Get yourself fit. Get yourself fit, because seeing the courses last year, there wasn't a lot of places, in my opinion, where you could do distance handling. Okay. You need to be with your dog to a degree at most points. Yeah. So get yourself fit so you can run around a course without collapsing. Definitely. Research the judges. Look at the types of courses that the judges are setting. So you can practice some of the skills which you will not be used to using.
I've actually realised this even more myself recently. Been on a couple of international insight days.
Mm-hmm.
Twice I've seen something that I've never seen before.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yesterday I went and set it up.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than walking a course and you've never trained it.
Never seen it before. And with judging the SOAWC trials this year, I've been looking at the judges' courses, and there is some very big challenges in them.
Okay.
And they're going to be there because there's no point making them easy for people.
Exactly, not at that level.
But if people do the research, they should, look at things and be able to practice some of them things. They've still got time.
Definitely.
Train on the European style courses. It's nice to have all the skills at possibly slow speeds and that. But you need the same skills. It's not all just about running. You've got to have the skills.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But you've got to have the skills at speed.
Yeah, you've got to have a combination. And a lot of dogs can do the skills, from a standstill or at a slower speed, and then bring the speed into it and their head goes and they can't do both.
Yeah, well, that's actually the next thing I put, train with a partner as well. Because if you go and train yourself, exactly what you just said then, you don't train at speed.
Yeah.
You do, but you don't train. You don't train at speed. If you've got a friend there shouting at you, you shouting at them.
Yeah. If you're on your own, you do what's comfortable, don't you?
It's like doing a running dog walk on your own. How often do you actually run at full speed?
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
You've got someone there shouting at you who can watch the contact.
Yeah, you can just run.
So find a training partner.
Yeah,
is a really good thing.
And training in groups, I suppose you've got that there. And when you go with a trainer,
if you can train in groups, anything like that, but help each other.
Yeah,
help each other, and push yourself harder than you used to pushing yourself.
Yeah, you got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can't put yourself under the same pressure. You can't replicate the same start line because you can't get the same atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely.
But be inventive and take yourself outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, you can do as much as you can. You can't exactly replicate the event, but you can get as close as you possibly can.
Yeah, you can get your own cheerleaders and crowd and things like that.
Yes, and it makes it more fun too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does if you're all supporting each other. Yeah. And run longer courses where you can, which will naturally up your fitness.
Yeah, like you said, 25 obstacles.
It is. It's like I should stop talking, run faster.
Yeah.
If you're talking, you're not putting your own effort into it. And again, some people say, no, I can't run. We can all run to some degree.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
All run to some degree. It's just nice to see people getting fitter and happier.
Yes, exactly. And the fitter you are as well, you just enjoy it more, don't you? Because there's nothing worse than getting halfway around and not being able to breathe. So it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, the number of people that run out of steam before they finish the course.
Yeah.
And don't do the dog justice.
Or even like 2 or 3 obstacles before the finish can make all the difference. Do you know what I mean? You really have to go until the very end. Yeah,
I mean, one of my favourite things is say if you set a straight line course on a higher grade dogs, how many people would actually get to the end?
Yes, that's true.
We set it on lower grade dogs, but how many actually of the grade 6, 7 dogs and the handlers would actually get to the end of a straight run?
Yeah, no, that's very true. Probably not a lot.
No, because we don't practice it.
Yeah, that's it. So then, what is your best piece of advice for competing at an international event in general? So someone who's, say, already got on an international, team or is preparing for that event they know they're going to.
I think that this was quite a difficult question to answer, really.
Yeah, quite broad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Be as organised as you can and as far in advance as you can. Get organised. So you're taking one piece of pressure away from yourself.
Yeah,
then you can concentrate on running your dogs. Don't leave everything to last minute. Get something organised, get out of the way, and then you can move on to concentrating on something else.
Definitely.
So you're planning everything. So you reduce your stress levels for your travel, for instance.
Yeah, definitely.
And sort your vets out before you, so you know what you're going to do.
Yes, yeah.
Don't leave it till last minute. I need to get a vet's appointment. I need to get me health certificate for my dog. I need to get injections. Look into it before, so you can put planning your diary.
Get all the admin sorted.
Where you're going to do, yeah. I mean, you can ring your vets up and book an appointment 6 months in advance. They'll think you're mad.
Yeah.
But it's done. It's out of the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, that
one less thing to think about.
I haven't quite organised, so some people don't like it, but it's
the best way.
It is.
I don't think you can really. I don't think there's a bad point to being organised. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you can ever be too organised.
No. Nice. Some people when you're asking for when you're judging, when you're asking for course sizes 3 or 4 months.
I suppose. Yeah, but surely they'd prefer that to you not submitting your courses on time.
Do it elaborate. Yeah. It's just me. You're not going to alter how you are, and that's from when I used to run my own business. You had to be organised.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Treat each one you're going to do as every other run you've done in the past.
Huge, yeah.
It's a run, you know.
Yeah.
Be as competitive as you normally are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in there putting extra pressure on yourself, saying I've got to do well in this, I've got to do well in that. Nobody's going to feel any different about you as long as you give it 100%.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And that's all you can do. All you can do is your best.
And as long as you know you've done your best, do you know what I mean? It's the rest of it's out of your control.
Absolutely. There'll always be negative people.
Oh, yeah.
Just try and avoid them if you can.
Yeah.
It's not always possible, but
same in any sort of walk of life, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. People don't always like you succeeding.
Yeah.
But you learn to be with the people that you need to be with.
Yeah, exactly.
And run your own course. Again, touched on this earlier on.
Yeah.
Don't stand. You stand and watch other people if you want. You can pick up some traps and that. But run your own. Just because I'm putting 2 blinds in, 3 blinds in. If you walked it with rear crosses, do your rear crosses.
Yeah. Only you know what works, don't you?
Yeah. And be positive.
Yes.
Just be positive. Just be positive about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it ruins it when you take it. Well, it's hard not to take it too seriously, but it does ruin it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, and find some time to relax. Yeah, if you've got them silly long days.
Yeah.
You can't always.
Even just 5 minutes in the day. Do you know what I mean? To sit on your own.
Find some time to relax and go for a walk. Or watch television, read a newspaper. Just do something to take your mind away from it, because we're all talking.
Yes.
About agility all the time.
Yeah, it's all consuming.
And it can be quite a lot of pressure.
Definitely. Yeah, good tips.
Some people do that better than others.
Yeah. But again, it's something you can practice, isn't it, and get better at through experience. So
yeah, absolutely. All of it is just experience, and it's doing stuff so it becomes second nature to you.
Yeah.
You know, the less you have to think about, that becomes natural.
It's so much easier.
The easier it is, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. So last question then, what is your next agility goal for yourself and Hope, or your other dogs as well? What have you got coming up now that you're focusing on?
I suppose the biggest one is to go back to Portugal to defend my title.
Yeah.
That's the one that's going to put the most pressure on me. Because people have expectations. So that's one of my goals. I want to just go and try and enjoy it.
Yeah. That's always the biggest goal.
That problem. I had a number of girls 4 or 5 years ago. A group of us sat and wrote things down of what we want to achieve. Obviously, SOAWC wasn't one of them because it wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
That's the biggest goal. Nothing will crown that. I always wanted to go to Crufts. And I qualified for Crufts this year.
Oh, amazing.
With Hope. So that's another goal. Another heap of pressure, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
But I've got there, and I've got to go with the attitude, what'll be,
Exactly, yeah.
I've made it. So we'll see what happens then. Third goal, I've got all these girls. Champ ticket.
Same.
I've been so close. I've had 5 reserves.
Oh, wow.
Some very good dogs. They've always deserved to win it. You just can't get there. And that's the one where people put more pressure on me than anything.
Oh, really? In what way?
Just, this is your course. You're going to, you do one, you've had that many.
Yeah. That's horrible going into it.
It's one of those things.
You have to try and zone it out.
Yeah, and Hope will be 8 this year, so I keep thinking I'm running out of time. But then you look at the Steve Richardsons of the world.
Exactly, that's it.
He was running Olivia at 12.
Yeah, and she's still doing really well.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Ultimate goal is to make Team GB.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always up there.
I've been on it. I've been at the tryouts numerous times. I've got the skills. I've got the ground speed.
Definitely.
Just I haven't got the start line. But it's getting better.
Yes.
That's got to be the ultimate goal. And if you would have said that to me 20 years ago,
insane.
about everything else, no, I'm not a sporty person.
Wow, how that's changed.
I'm not a sporty person.
Yeah.
And I only wish my parents had still been alive to see what I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my goals for my dog. For myself, I just love to progress my judging.
Yes.
I'd love to judge abroad.
Yes, that would be amazing.
And I'd love to judge a champ when I'm got me 5 years in.
How many years have you been judging now?
I've only been judges. I'm just coming into my 3rd year.
Okay.
Which really surprises a lot of people. I've been offered 3 champ appointments already.
All right.
I can't commit to anything till I've passed. I've met all the criteria except 5 years.
Ah, that's annoying.
So for myself personally, that's my biggest goal.
Yeah.
All that side of it. Especially as you're getting older, it might be easier to judge than compete.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's nice to have 2 different avenues within the sport as well. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. With Tasha, I'd like to get Tasha to grade 7. I've got all my other dogs to grade 7. Tasha's a different dog. She's actually my quickest dog, but she's my least confident dog.
How old is she? Sorry, what grade is she and how old is she now?
She's grade 5. She's halfway through grade 5. She's coming up 4.
Okay.
So she's still young. And I think with all poodles, I see people running dogs at grade 7, they're coming up 3. And they've got so many skills.
Yeah.
All my poodles haven't started to mature until the 4 or 5.
I'm very similar with Arrow.
I think I've accepted it a little bit. It's how I train them, but when I've got 4 doing the same thing, there's got something there. So yeah, I'd like to get her in champ. She's a long way off it yet. She's a long way off it yet. People say I do her down, but she's a completely different dog. I love training her. I love training her, and she enjoys it more and more.
Yeah, and it's those dogs that make you an even better trainer, isn't it? When you have to take different approaches and
yeah, you do. Yeah. We've actually had to teach her to be noisy to get her enthusiasm up. But then she's bloody barking all the time. Well, she is, but if she doesn't, she gets a bit. Well, shall we do it? Shall we not?
Yeah, a bit flat.
Yeah. So we'll see. See what the year brings.
Yeah, I suppose the next thing is tryouts, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, obviously there's 2. There's the GB tryouts, the main team tryouts.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to. I've got my hotels booked for the first one. The second one I haven't yet. And there's the SOAWC tryouts, which is another thing which I'm not competing in. I'm judging.
Yeah.
Setting the courses. So again, that's another big challenge.
Definitely.
Because that's something I haven't done before at that level. So I'm very proud to have been asked to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting few months.
Absolutely. It kind of all kicks off now, doesn't it? All starts again.
Yeah.
This time of year.
Someone said you're retired. I said I'm retired. I'm supposed to be retired, but I have less time now.
Yeah, than you did before.
I had when I was at work before.
Yeah.
If I needed to do something, I just work on a night before.
Yeah.
Whereas now
what was it? The other day you were teaching 10 hours or something.
Oh yeah, I often do. Yeah. I do 2 real long days, and I'd rather do 2 long days than do a little bit every time. But that's
true.
That's how I've always worked. I've always done
long stints.
Yeah, I've done a bit of guest training as well, and that took me outside the comfort zone. But I've had good feedback from it. And I've really enjoyed it. One of the places, Durham Dogs, I'm going back to next weekend actually. And I did a joint training day with Emma Pullen. which I organised, and that many subscriptions for it. It's unbelievable. And we're doubting ourselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's such a rewarding thing to do, isn't it? Teach and see that progress.
It is, and you're going to see that yourself soon as well.
Yeah, and when it clicks for them.
Yeah, it's really nice seeing people progress. Especially, people I teach low grades, most of them. But just seeing them be happy with the dog.
Yes.
And doing things with the dogs. And then as they start to progress, they come back the following week and say, I've been doing this, I've been and bought that, we're doing this. It's so nice.
Yeah, that is amazing.
So nice to see.
And again, it's those different branches of the sport, competing, judging, teaching, you kind of see different perspectives, and it all helps you. I think teaching and judging actually helps make you a better handler as well.
Yes, I think it does. And I run small dogs, and it's, small dogs jump differently to large dogs.
Yes.
I have run one or two large dogs to different degrees of success for other people. But the more I judging, the more I teach, you start to see different things.
Yeah, exactly.
You start to notice the lines of, well, I've set that for that dog. Well, that mad collie, takes 6 meters to turn a corner.
Yeah.
You can't help everybody, and you've got to put some onus onto the handler, whatever level, but you can help them as much as possible to succeed safely.
Yeah. Same for me as far as, I've never really ran large dogs. Arrow's the biggest dog I've had, but through teaching and judging, you get a feel for it, you get...
You do, You do, and again, we're all there to help each other, and I will ask other people if I'm uncertain. I'll say, you run such and such a dog.
Yes, exactly.
Would you just have a look at this? And when you get somebody, Joe Hunter, you couldn't get anybody running a bigger dog than Joe, could you?
No, honestly, yeah.
And if she tells you it's a nice line, you're safe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those dogs are probably bigger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And also, you never know everything. Do you know what I mean? There's always more to learn, which is another nice thing.
Nobody's too old to learn something.
Yes, exactly.
You never stop learning. And the moment you say you stop learning, well, you should give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's a learning curve.
Exactly, and that's how you get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Well, that is all of the questions. Thank you very much again for coming on.
It's not a problem. Thank you for asking me. It's appreciated. I never expected it. So.
How much fun was that conversation? Oh my God, the championship sounded amazing. As someone who has competed at international events before, I know exactly how Jason felt when he was describing all those emotions. And yeah, that was just amazing to talk to him and, find out what he did in the prep, in the build up to the event to get to that world champ position, and also how he, feels about not only the breed that he runs and loves, but also, the agility training process in itself when he's not preparing for a big event, etc. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. It was such a great conversation, but you guys know the drill. Please make sure you're following the Pause in Pursuit podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also Pause in Pursuit on YouTube so you don't miss a future episode. The next episode is going to be the February Q&A with myself next week, because I believe that it is oh no, it's not. I was going to say, I believe next Wednesday is the start of Feb, but it's not. So next week's episode will actually be the effects of pregnancy on agility with Becky Hodson, and then the week after that, on the 5th of Feb, will be the Feb Q&A. So a really cool episode with Becky to look forward to this time next week, and then a Q&A to kickstart Feb. So make sure you're following the pod so you don't miss any of that good stuff. Also, give me a follow if you're not already on all the social media. I just reached 4K followers on Instagram, which is incredible. And this account has grown so much lately. And I'm just really grateful for everyone who follows me and Arrow and Ethel. And yeah, I'm on all sorts of platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all the things, at Pause in Pursuit or Summer Clark. Most of you probably already follow me. Please do leave the podcast a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That would mean the absolute world to me, as you guys already know. And yeah, please do keep sending in your solo and guest episode recommendations or requests, and I make sure I always do what you guys want me to do. As well, social media wise, if you want to see any particular posts, any particular themed posts or educational content, because I want to start including, well, I have already started including, but like my Back to Basics series, which covers the more foundation exercises of agility, I would like to keep posting lots of educational content for you guys. I think I'm going to start including some of the stuff that I learned in uni as a canine behaviour grad in these episodes as well, and how dogs learn, psychology side of it, stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, please do let me know. If you'd like to be coached by me for my online coaching, please do get in touch. There's an inquiry form in the description below, and also if you would like a one-to-one in person with me, please get in touch and we can talk about that. I also run weekly group classes on a Thursday and a Saturday. So if you want to train with me in person or online, please do get in touch. Next week, I think, again, is mainly just a working week, although I am judging at Inspire on Sunday. So if you guys are at Inspire on Sunday, I am judging there. So I hope you guys enjoy my courses. For those who aren't going, I will post my courses on social media as usual after the day. And then I've got, what else have I got? I've got Ogilvy Hire next Monday to do some more Astro course running with Arrow. His pad seems fine, touch wood. I'm touching wood, that was me touching wood, so far, and after last night at DSD, so fingers crossed that's in the past. He just has, his front right pad is just like pink up inside it where the others aren't. So if anyone has experience with that, then please let me know, because it's bizarre. I'm like, why that one? Why that one and not the others? Not that I want it to be the others, but still, you know what I mean. But the paw wax is seeming to help. So again, thanks to everyone that recommended that. And I think I've rambled on enough. Without further ado, I will sign off for this week and I will speak to you guys next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Bye, guys.